Today's video, we're going to talk about how to optimize meta ads for extra profit, okay? This isn't going to be one of your typical textbook type of videos, which is going to tell you how to do all the basics. This is a super advanced strategy guide that is going to help you actually make more money from your Facebook ads. Granted, you still have to have a good product or service that's in demand to do well on Facebook. However, if you have it, and you have it, you know there's demand for what you sell out there on the market, there is no reason whatsoever, particularly with this information I'm sharing with you, which is 20 years worth of information packed into one video of marketing knowledge and Facebook knowledge rolled into one. There's no reason why you can't end up making millions of dollars in sales profitably with your Facebook ads account. I'm going to go into why and specifically how. But the main thing with what stops people from making money on Facebook ads, or should I say making a lot, is they think this is just a one-time boom, you're done. Very rarely will you get so lucky, even myself that have been doing Facebook ads for 10 plus years, to just throw up an ad and then boom, it's instantly profitable. Even though I know all the tricks. There's some massaging that you have to do. There's a little bit of testing you have to do. And more importantly, you got to feed in conversion data into your ad account and campaigns so that the system can learn what works and what doesn't work and tweak who your ad's getting shown to as well. I'm going to go into the basic details on that, but there's some basic fundamental tenets here that you should know that if your campaign isn't profitable enough or isn't scaling, these main basic levers you could pull to get things in the right direction again. I am Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, a PPC/advertising agency that offers guaranteed results to their clients. That is, before we charge a client a fee, a management fee at our firm, we get our client more profitable results on their ads up front. No other agency on the planet offers anything like that, which should tell you about the quality of the information that we're sharing with you on this video here today for free. With that said, I will definitely go through what these checklist of things that you can do to get your campaigns more profitable on Facebook/meta ads. So you could basically be able to do this for yourself. I am also going to go over individual case studies or instances, different products and services that we promoted with the type of results. So if you stay to the end of the video, you'll understand type of things that you can market that will be successful. If you don't actually have something that you think you could do as well with, that you need to switch up to or start a whole nother business. You'll have business ideas on top of it, all the meta marketing knowledge I'm giving you here in today's video. So with that said, there's 4 obvious things that you can do to optimize your meta/Facebook ads, okay? You got your ad itself and optimizing that. You got your offer, which nobody really thinks about this, but when you run an online ad, what's the offer at play? Most people think all they can do is market the product or service itself as is, and unless it's a really exciting product or service, it's usually not good enough to make millions of dollars running ads for it. You also got your targeting, who the ad gets shown to, and then of course the landing page, if there's one involved. You don't use Facebook lead ads, which I'm going to talk about that as well. Facebook lead ads generally making more money because it takes less overall activation energy from the user in order to respond, but it's not a cure-all and it's not something you should use in every case. It all depends on the level of how complicated your offer is, that whether you need that landing page to properly explain what you have or not. And with the key thing being, if it's a simple offer, you want the Facebook lead ad, you'll make more money from the same ad spend with the Facebook lead ad than you will with sending people to a landing page instead. So with that said, okay, on each one of these individual things, you got a way to optimize all of these to get more profit from your ads. What you should basically do, like I'm going to do, if I'm not satisfied with the amount of money our ads are making, I'm going to go down the list and I'm going to do each one of these things to squeeze out every last little bit of profit out of our ad that we have. And if I get all the way through this and my ad's still not profitable, I'm going to assume the product, there's no market for it, because it's really that effective and it's that formulaic, okay? So with that said, for the ad, the number one type of ad that works more than anything at our advertising firm that we have today, which we have dozens of clients at any given time, worked with hundreds and hundreds of clients over the last 10 years. Today, time of watching this video, which is 2024 still, it's UGC ads. Why? Because it's something other advertisers can't do, which means those ads are going to stand out so that when you're scrolling, it's going to be a scroll stopper. It's going to get the user to stop and pay attention to the ad. Because when people are scrolling on Facebook newsfeed, they're trying to say, is this an ad or isn't this an ad? And if it's an ad, I'm going to not pay attention to it. A UGC ad or a user generated content ad is an ad that looks like organic content but really is an ad. It's an ad in disguise. The other reason why these work so well and very few people use them, even if they have a lot of resources, is technically it's kind of like crossing the line in a vague way. Like on FTC regulations, ads are supposed to look like ads. But if you're not a huge company and you know the FTC ain't gonna come after you, which if you're not doing $100 million a year, they wanna find somebody they can get money from. You can run ad that looks like a not ad, that doesn't look like an ad, and that will get at least 4 to, we'll just say 10 times as much profit per impression per dollar of ad spend that you have that way, because people are gonna see the ad and more likely to see it and digest it than if it looks like a straight up, it's an obvious ad as people are scrolling. So what you do with this for a product, it's simple. You have somebody reviewing the product, okay? For a service, it's actually the same thing as well. With a product, it's easier because they could be like, hey, look at this new frying pan I bought. I actually could use it to cook this, and I cook this, and look how it cooks this too. That's the basic formula to sell a product on Facebook, particularly when you're selling an item under like $200 in cost, because they see that and they just go and buy it. But even if not, it still generally works the best most of the time. Again, because it's gonna trick people into thinking it's not an ad and therefore people should pay attention to it. And for a service, it's gonna, like I said, basically be the same thing. I use this service. The service actually got me these results. Look at the before, look at the after, that type of thing. That either do that or the main ads that we're running that are the most successful at our firm is news/influencer ads. You actually go pay, and legacy media, news, basically television stations, they're hard up as hell for cash, to the point where if you have any kind of successful company, they will come to you, their salespeople will come to you saying that they want to review you, and really they want money to review you. It's like a pay for play, but they're forced to do it because that's where the money is. Marketers that are smart will understand that the credibility you get from getting reviewed there can be used over and over and over again to power an ad campaign. So literally speaking, we had a mailbox product. We got it reviewed on Fox News. We took that video and we used that as the ad on Facebook. And that ad produces way more than showing the product in use, like, being installed and so forth. We're talking 10 times more. Why? Because it doesn't look like an ad and it gives your product so much credibility. It was on Fox News, whatever. And it's not as expensive as you think. That feature was about $9,000 to do that. You can actually get on, like we had sold toolboxes before, and we got a dedicated placement on the new product section of an auto mechanics channel for around $15K per episode. And we did multiple because it actually sold, which you'll get some sales from it directly, but most of the value truly is using it in an ad. And not a lot of people haven't caught onto this yet, which is why it's so profitable and you should strongly consider doing it. Most people are just going to be cheap and they're going to say, I could spend that $15,000 on an ad spend. The ad spend isn't going to work nearly as good if you don't have a good ad. People really screw this up. You want to go balls to the wall on the ad, and then the ad spend is just going to pay for itself. Versus, I want to spend the minimum on the ad and then use it all for ad spend. You're not going to make nearly as much money that way, almost every single time. Get off your buns. Don't be so cheap. Go out and get your product reviewed by a news website or something that hopefully that your people that you're trying to sell to are going to already trust and respect. And then use that mention/review of the product on and for your ad. And this also could, by the way, be an influencer. Influencer is going to be cheaper, but anymore, the cost, I could tell you from experience, the cost of getting reviewed on Fox News and getting reviewed by an influencer with 500K subscribers, it's basically going to be the same, and you're going to get more bang for your buck with the Fox News feature. Anyway, those are the UGC and then news features like that. Those are the top ads that we run. So as far as the ad, if you haven't done either one of those things, you need to try both of them. That's going to probably blow your results out of the water right away. Before I move on, and when you do that, the best thing you can do to make the ad even better is you test different UGC actors, male versus female, old versus young, and that'll move the needle on the ROI you're getting on your ad a lot, more than you think. Same thing with the influencers. Try a black influencer, try an Asian influencer, try a bunch of them. There's no way what you're gonna pick is gonna be the ultimate best one to run once you've done this once. Yes, it costs 10 grand to get an influencer reviewing your product here and another 10K to do another one, But if that other influencer obviously increases your click-through rate 25%, which will increase your profitability 25%, you're a dummy for not going and doing that. So your goal should be to hopefully make a little bit of money on the first 10K feature you get. And then once you've built up a little bit of a war chest, immediately go to test another and another. Maybe 75% of them don't work, but the 1 out of 4 that does work is going to bring you an extra 25% more profit that you got out of nowhere. And so therefore it's worth it. Once you got that out of the way, you want to test your offers. And I didn't even get into all the details about customizing headlines, and you should test a bunch of headlines, a bunch of descriptions. Facebook ads that have a bigger description nowadays could generally convert better. I have a whole video about that on this channel if you want to search on my channel homepage. I only have so much time to review this stuff on this channel. I'm covering the big stuff here that will for sure move the needle, and the smaller stuff can come later. You focus on the big stuff first, and then you fine tune with the, testing the headlines and whatnot later on, given that isn't going to have as much impact, and it would be silly to test that first before you did the big thing anyway. So the offer is the second thing you can fix. So like I said, if you have a boring product or service, you need to have an offer, okay? An offer is going to be like having a video with a demonstration of your product. When I say demonstration, I mean buying all 5 of your competitors' products in the same price range and beating the hell out of all of them, and then recording that and having that as your ad. Why? Because it gives the user something legitimately, if they're in market for or would like to buy a rice cooker, that's going to be very valuable to them. Something that if they saw it, even though it's an ad, they're going to pay attention to it because it's so valuable. You can do that as far as an offer. You can offer information. Information could be, if you have a back problem, people are using this treatment to completely fix their back problems in 2024, and send them to a news article on your website that looks like a news article. And that is your offer. Your offer is hidden information that you know that your market would want to have that could obviously somehow tie into a product that you have on the back end, which is the way that we set up funnels a lot of time. They read the article primes them for the thing the article was featuring, and then because of that, they are willing and now primed to buy that product or service that we have on the other end. Your offer could be a giveaway. So this is more of like what people would traditionally think is an offer or call an offer. That is, we had a mortgage broker. What do we do with that? $500 cash back at closing. We also had an offer that said, if you could find a cheaper rate on your mortgage, we'll give you a free $100 Outback Steakhouse gift card. So instead of just doing what everybody else is going to do, that's a mortgage broker trying to run Facebook ads for their business. That is, hey, if you need a mortgage, call us, which is you're wasting your time, don't even do that. Or you could do what I just mentioned, either one of those things, and actually get somebody who actually needs a mortgage, because it's only going to be like 0.25% of your market that even needs one at any given time. Suck out all that demand. People don't like doing it though, because they don't want to give anything away for free. They should just buy. Well, you know what? You're going to stay broke then, because very hard to get people to move and get off their ass and do anything. So if you're not offering something super substantially upfront to them, either the product is a game-changing, completely amazing product that you could show them, then you need to give them something, probably most likely to get the ad spend, because the ad space, every eyeball you get in front of is going to have a cost. And if you get lazy or too greedy and you don't want to offer any discounts, you don't want to offer this, you don't want to offer that, all that's going to happen is you're going to throw all that extra money away that you could have made on ad spend that doesn't produce. And it's obviously got to produce so well, otherwise the ad spend can't pay for itself and you're not going to have a scalable campaign to begin with. You're better off giving as much as you can away to get the campaign to work, and then have a 5% profit margin and scale that up to where you could then spend $50,000 a month, and through scale it's going to make up for itself. You could do that. You could do a sub-niche targeting. If you sell baseball bats, okay? There's people that are right-hand hitters, left-hand hitters, and you find out the different reasons why people buy a baseball bat. One of the things you could do there is you could actually have ad that says, this baseball bat's the best baseball bat for left-handed hitters, okay? And here's why. That's a hell of a lot more effective than just saying, this is the best baseball bat for left and right-hand hitters. So naturally, and then you run that, and then you write down the 5 or 10 main reasons why people buy, the individual use cases that your product or service fixes, and then you run out different ads for them. Sometimes you can get lucky and you can find, an audience for left-handed people on Facebook, and then just run it to that, and then you're going to do real well. But even if you can't, it still will generally make more money doing that, running 5 ads that focus on the 5 use cases than 1 ad that tries to focus on them all, because it's not going to get anybody's attention. So I recommend also doing that as well. Okay? We had a company that offers product design, development, and related services, and we did much better with that once we actually started taking the sub-services and marketing those individually, patent support, and then product prototyping support, and then running different individual ads for that. That pulled way more than we offer product design and consulting services. Many times you're going to have to go that route in order to make the ad spend actually pay for itself. And then from there, it's obviously, can you find an audience that more precisely targets that individual use case that you're doing? But even if you can't, like I said, it's better to just a lot of times come up with 5 different ads that focus on all the use cases and then throw them all out there to the same audience. You'll end up doing better. Okay, so in the targeting category, okay, you can do the flag down method. Facebook's targeting has gotten way neutered and it's way shittier than it used to be. That's why the ads don't work as well as they used to be. And what people are doing now is they're saying something like, hey, if you need a roof, blah, 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 to try to find people that need a roof instead of targeting people who need a roof, okay? That it used to be through Facebook's data that they got through Apple, that they could see that you needed a roof because they spied on all your text conversations and you didn't need that. Now it's just, you don't know anything about anything. You're just throwing an ad out there that says, hey, does your belly itch? We got the best belly itch cream or whatever, trying to find the 1.1% of people who have a belly itch. So your goal is to, though, 100% make your ad and your offer so good that you could run that ad to everybody. The people who are apt to want to buy that product or service and would be moved by it respond at such a high rate that you could literally show it to everybody and it's still profitable. Why? Because you're going to make the most money that way. You're going to find every last customer that way. Versus trying to target a certain audience, which, yes, it's highly concentrated with customers you could sell to, but there's customers outside of that audience that could have bought that now are not going to see it. You try the flag down method. If you can't get it to work, then naturally you could go imported audiences. So the fix for Facebook not having the data that it used to have, getting data from Apple and so forth, and then also the Axicom audiences that they used to import. So the people that had, bought from spent on their credit card recently used to be able to get some of that data through Facebook. Now you don't. But the workaround is you use a data company to import audiences into your Facebook account. So one company that we specifically use is called LiveRamp. LiveRamp will literally give you the ability to target all the people who've bought from an Italian restaurant in the last year. So if you're an Italian restaurant, you can target just them. And that gets obviously very super precise and therefore efficient and will increase the ROI on your campaigns a lot because you've gotten rid of all the wasted eyeballs that frankly just don't like Italian food. You don't have to advertise in front of them anymore. And then it'll take a campaign that normally would have produced at 100% ROAS to 1,000 because you got rid of all the wasted ad spend. And we did this in the Italian food space, by the way, which is just one of many, many different situations where we used imported audiences. The problem with that is you got to run a pretty substantial campaign because LiveRamp has minimums. But if you didn't have that, one of the other options is you can go to Nextmark, is one company that we also work with, to find audience lists. You can go to Nextmark mailing list. You go Google that. Then you type in their search database, Italian restaurant connoisseurs. And then you see if they have a list. They're a data broker that gets lists from other people. So I could be an Italian restaurant. I want to make more money off of our customer database than just trying to sell more Italian food to them. I go to a data broker and I say, I'm willing to sell this data for $3 a name. And then they'll go find customers for your data. And so they're playing the middleman there, the matchup game. You go to them, if they have an Italian customer list, you can rent it and you get the email addresses from them and then you import those to Facebook and then you use that to target your ads. Okay? So there's 2 different ways to import audiences, through a manual upload of email addresses or through LiveRamp. It's literally connecting through the API. You import the audience directly through LiveRamp directly. If you can't get your ads to work any other way, no matter how good the ad and no matter how good the offer is, it's just not quite profitable enough for you, then you just narrow down your targeting and you tap into audiences that are going to, of buyers, so to say. The good thing, by the way, about Google versus Facebook anymore is they have a buyer list of everything. If you want to sell something, a new roof to somebody, you could target people who have typed in roofing companies in the last 30 days. And so you don't need to have an outside broker to do super hyper targeted advertising there. You can run a YouTube ad, which Facebook works. YouTube will generally work even better. You can run lead gen ads on Gmail, on YouTube itself as well, and target the same in-market buyers. And so all this targeting stuff is kind of like figured out for you already. And there's no added cost because buying lists from data brokers like LiveRamp, like Nextmark, it's all added. It still costs you to get the data. It's not so much that you can't, make up for it in terms of added profit, but it still obviously has an added cost. So that would be the main thing on the targeting. And then on the landing page, if you got a simple offer and you're offering like a fitness program, it's better to have a lead gen ad and just get people's email addresses on Facebook. You'll get more leads than sending them to a simple landing page where they can opt in. That's been the case for a few years now. However, if you sell a more complicated product here, you want to send them definitely to a landing page. And along with that, you need a dedicated landing page. I see a lot of people trying to market their home appliance or whatever, and then sending them to their general product page on their website. Now, sometimes a product page on a website can be so good, it effectively is a landing page, if you will. But even then, so the key thing is everybody also wants to send everybody to the same landing page. One landing page that maximizes the conversion rate on Facebook traffic won't maximize the conversion rate on traffic from Google. Google users are invested. They want more information. They're ready to digest way more information. Whereas on Facebook, you interrupted them, you got their attention long enough to click your ad, do things in a more simplistic way, you're going to lose them and they're going to leave. And vice versa sometimes actually, because on Google, if somebody's looking for a plumbing service, if you spend more than 5 seconds trying to communicate that, you do it, you cover their area and they trust you, they're going to bounce. Whereas on Facebook, if you were to use an offer for a plumbing service, you would have to have an offer to make it work. But if you send them to the page on your site and you don't actually have something, helps build the trust up more, then you're also not going to have sales per dollar of ad spend. So that's something also to consider as well. But respectively, if you're doing lead generation, usually Facebook lead gen ads are going to be what converts better. If you're selling product, you send them to the landing page, obviously, a dedicated landing page, but not always. Sometimes for some services, we're going to be able to make more sending them to a landing page. And it all basically generally comes down to how complicated the offer is. We had a fitness program where we made more money doing a lead gen ad, but later, same company later down in the funnel where we had a custom coaching program, like a private coaching program, we sent them to the landing page because we needed to spend more time conveying that than we would getting people to initially get acquainted with our fitness program group/community. A different offer, a landing page converted better versus targeted group with a different targeted offer, or same group, sorry, but different targeted offer. A lead gen ad actually converted better dollar for dollar. Anyway, with all that said, if you don't really know where to start here, because obviously this takes a lot of work. This is what I do for clients that are firm at Guaranteed PPC. If you want me to look over your stuff, I provide a free consultation. You can reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, we do not charge our clients fees until we get them a certain minimum lift in their profitability on their ads up front. So we literally earn our keep before there's a fee. We don't take on just any client. You got to have something that we know we can do well with. But if you want to see if we can work together, you can reach out to me and we can have a talk. Beyond that, if we've already worked in your niche market before, worked in over 100 plus niche markets in the last 10 years, and with that, what we've been doing is just selling the ad templates. That is, if you want to sell a fitness program, we've already done that. Why not use the exact funnel we used to sell that already? We know what the lead cost is. We know what the ROI is. We can show you that. Why not just take ours and you'll get the results you want right away and for way less money, even though we're selling the template, that wasted ad spend and time of creating all this stuff is nowhere near the cost of the template. So if you're interested in that, you can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. We got people, by the way, starting whole other businesses with these templates. That is, you can literally start a lead selling business, sell the leads to another person in a niche space just because you have the template that works. And because most people don't know how to run ads effectively. Or they just wanted to get into e-commerce and we showed how we sold printer toner in country A and they started selling it in country B and they had a turnkey business because they had the ad funnel that works. And that's one of them what we actually have. Anyway, if you're interested in that, you can also reach out. That all said, I mentioned by the end of the video, if you were to watch here, I would give you some idea about the type of profitability these type of products/services that we marketed here actually got. Just to give you one kind of tidbit right off the top here, I talked about the mortgage broker space. If you generate leads on Google search for mortgage brokers, it's most of the time, if you're not very good anyway, you're going to be paying $100 plus a lead for leads on Facebook or on Google Ads. Our Facebook campaign where we were promoting the cashback offer on closing and the guaranteed lowest rate, we were getting leads for less than half of that on Facebook, around 30 to 50 bucks in that range, and not even having a list of people that we know are in market for a mortgage, just blasting it out there to the general public in the geographic area that our client serves. And we were closing like 1 in 10 of those leads on top of it. So the ROI on this was huge. It's $300 cost on a, basically you're making 3 to 6K per mortgage closing. So it was a machine turning out profit. If you want a turnkey business, I literally just gave you the keys to the kingdom there, and you could run out there and you could use that right now. Right now, today, I guarantee you it still works and will work, because the market where we did it in, and we're still doing it in, it's not going to be the geographic area that you're going to be in. You could, like I said, sell the leads or just close them yourself if you have a mortgage broker license and partnered with somebody. To give you another example here, okay, I mentioned we sold toolboxes as well, high-end toolboxes that are in the thousands of dollars each. Anytime you'll typically get Google ads to work, Facebook ads will work if you know these core tenets. Facebook, we were able to generate a 30-to-1 return on Facebook ads after 3 years of running the campaign. It wasn't that in the beginning, which is going back to what I was saying before. Part of how you get ads with Facebook ads, or get a return with Facebook ads, once you've done all this stuff and you know all this stuff, is just running the campaign for a long time, because the machine learning is going to get smarter and smarter and smarter. But we got the feature on a Gearhead channel where they talk about things that you can add to your car to make them faster, tune it up and stuff like that. It's on an old school television station on a particular channel, or a show or program on that channel. We got featured for $15,000. That in itself, we took that and used that as an ad, and that was in itself was getting a 30-to-1 return by running that ad. Yes, by running the ad for a long, long time and having the proper conversion tracking set up. The system was very, very good at using that ad that we know this toolbox was featured on this really cool show that I know, that I like, I've heard of before. So effective. People will be scared off. They don't want to hear that it's going to cost $15,000 to invest into something before they can run any ads. They just want to, everybody wants to do is say, I'll invest a little bit of money, and then when it works, I'll invest more, which is like putting a shot glass full of gas in your car and expecting to try to make money, and then you'll put another bit of gas in the car once it's actually running. Effective ad campaigns, you got to be able to do what other people aren't willing to do. If all your competitors know about Facebook ads, which they do, they're running those ads, doing the boring way, and if there was return there, they would have already had it. So if you're going to make money, you got to come up with a better ad. Your goal always is to do a better ad, better targeting than them, because that's generally what it's going to take to make money nowadays. If you have competitors, because they all know about Facebook ads, they all know about Google ads and so forth. Like I said before, focus on the ad, and everything else will kind of like become easy and just fall into place. The ad is good enough, you could be complete targeting, have your conversion tracking set up right, and the system will find your customer anyway. That's the main lesson that you should know here. The ad's more important than anything. Ad/offer if you offer something boring. And then the targeting is easy, whether you have a landing page or not. If the ad sells well, then the landing page could be average and you could be okay. And I could go into a few other examples here. I'll have other examples on other videos where I talk about different products and services that we marketed, but that in itself gives you a couple business ideas. If you have any questions, by the way, you can leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. You can ask me any ad related question or marketing related question. I'm more than happy to get back just as a way of saying thank you for helping the channel grow and watching. I love to give back to my viewers. Beyond that as well, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, if you're looking for the best information that's going to help you make millions of dollars running ads for your business, I promise you're not going to find it elsewhere. So you might as well just subscribe now, because 99% of the information you're going to find on the web and YouTube about how to make money running ads are coming from people selling courses that ain't running no damn ads, or they're running a couple ads and that's all they're doing. You need information coming from somebody who runs dozens of ads at any given time, because things are always changing. What worked yesterday isn't going to work next year. Ultimately, somebody who has experience running hundreds of campaigns, because stuff that works in one niche doesn't always work in another niche. There's some things that works in one niche that won't work in any other niche. You need somebody with that broad-based knowledge. I spend 40 hours a week doing ad testing at our firm on dozens of accounts, and I've worked doing this for the last 10 years. So you're not going to get better, more relevant information thereof. Definitely as compared to these other bozos who are just reading off documentation on Facebook and Google's website and regurgitating it to you. It's completely useless. And if that's all it took to make money everybody would be a millionaire. So you should subscribe. If you haven't checked out my blog as well, you should check that out at guaranteeppc.com/blog. The blog has step-by-step information on we use our campaigns to guarantee our clients' results with the step-by-step, with the screenshots. You'll really like that if you also like the channel as well. With that all said, to sum this up here, that is the 1, 2, 3, 4 punch, many times we've started out with a Facebook campaign that was getting a 0.25% or so ROI, and we walked it up to a 10x or 1,000% ROI, just going through step by step and improving each one of these. This is what I'm going to do when a client's saying that they're getting those kind of results. And that's what you should be doing as well, to walk to maximize the profit. And if you still can't, like I said at the start of this video, get it to work, after all, you've legitimately done all these things, then you should just find something else to market. A lot of people get stuck on, I need to sell this dog training book because I wrote this book and I like this book. And that's just stupid thinking, because it's way easier to just test 10 other products and find the one that really sells. And then you're going to make your life so much easier that way. And if you're going to invest all this time in building out the campaign, why not do it for something that actually freaking sells if there's demand for? If there's demand for it, this formula works. If there's not, it doesn't. You got to be competitive in your market. You can't be way more expensive than everybody else without the quality being better and so forth. And you can't ultimately polish a turd, for lack of better ways to put this. That said, I'll wrap it up. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.
Remember when I said Facebook ads was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.